Welcome to my channel. My name is Danial. I am a student of NFC IT CS Department Multan. So today we are going to discuss frequency count method. Frequency count method is used to find the time complexity of an algorithm and also the space complexity of an algorithm. Here is the algorithm of sum. Here I make an array of size 5, n is the size and a is array size 5, and here I take some elements like 8, 3, 9, 7, 1 in my array. So first of all, let's analyze the time taken by cell column. So the time taken by an algorithm can be known by assigning 1 unit of time for each statement, and if any statement is repeating for some number of time, the frequency of statement and the frequency of execution of that statement will calculate, and we find that time taken by that algorithm. For example, here this statement is repeating some number of times. It is repeating some number of times. So we will find frequency, which will give us the time complexity, time taken. So let me start. So this statement repeats only one time. Here the initial value of I is 0, so it also repeats only one time. I is 0. I can be 1. I can also be 2. And I can also be 3. I can also be 4. But I cannot be 5. It will not equal to 5 because here in our loop I is less than n. N is the number of size of our array, which is 5, so I cannot be 5. So by this it repeats only one time. It repeats n plus 1 time. It repeats n time, and overall for loop the time taken by for loop is n plus 1. You are thinking that the sum of all these is 2n plus 2, but we do not have to find the time complexity of this and this element. We just have to write the time complexity of our middle element, which is n plus 1. So this repeats n plus 1 times. It also, and this repetition statements repeat n times, and the return statement repeats one time. So time complexity will becomes f of n equals to plus n, 2n, plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. And the order of n is the coefficient of n is 1, so the order of n, big O, will be O n, because n is 1, n has 1 coefficient. Now I am finding the time complexity, I am finding the space complexity. For space, the variables that I use in our array for space are ignore my writing, A, N, A, N, S and I. So A repeats n number of times, N repeats 1 number of times, S also repeats 1 number of times, and I also repeats 1 number of times. So by this method we can also find the space complexity. So Sn becomes n plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3, and the order of n, big O, will also O n. So by frequency count method we can find the time complexity and space complexity of an algorithm. Kindly subscribe my channel. Thanks.